Howdy folks, this is Marduk the Gamer, and you're watching Space Engineers, Road to 10,000 Hours, Episode 14. For today, it's going to be a bit more riding and mining, but while we do make a nice amount of cash, it's all for a purpose. Thunder is a wonderful little vehicle, but it's not getting the job done. Not enough cargo capacity, and it keeps on breaking. I'm going to show you it breaking again. I think this is the third or fourth time. It's starting to blur together. So, we're at a new location. I moved the Mobile Refinery over here to this ice boulder so we can fill up the fuel tank and be able to keep on refining all that iron we got from last time. Additionally, I made some changes to the solar array so that it could fold a little bit easier and stay secure. So what I did was raise the solar array by another block. Now I have this sort of this extra distance from atop the hinge. And the reason why I did that is so these would be able to fold. I now have each panel has its own magnetic plate rather than a block with two magnetic plates on it. In order to do this, I brought the hinge up to 90 degrees, stuck some pistons on it. I did it in the sunlight, so the pistons still had power, and I was able to just lift it up and then clear off the hinge. Well, I was able to break the hinge, lift up the array, put down a block, put down a new hinge, and then go ahead and attach that to the bottom hinge. And then I put a little stopper on the back. So when I bring down the array, I'll be able to secure it in place. Because at the end of the episode, we're going to go ahead and take this back to the main base so that we can begin our new building project. And the really good news is while in operation, we are still maintaining positive power and positive fuel. I'm actually getting a little bit more power than I'm putting in. I'm getting about 100 more. I think I have one engine on at this time, and it's actually producing positive fuel. Because remember, I have 4 of the generators generating 3.3, which is about 12 liters per second, but I'm only consuming 10 in one of the hydrogen engines. So I'm actually able to get positive fuel, which is really good. It means the machine actually works, actually performs, and I won't have to build a refueler or some kind of battery storage. Alright, and we're back at the trade station where I've left Thunder from the previous episode. I want to try to sell off the last of this cobalt to free up inventory space for the new mineral, but it just so happens that I ran the trade station out of buyable cobalt. So now I have to pick a new mineral in order to sell. For a little bit, steel plates are tempting, but I realized that I need those steel plates in order to build any of my projects. So I'm going to go ahead and just do gold. The gold is still unusable to me in raw form. I can't make it into ingots, and I want to keep the magnesium so I can fight off the little cyber wolves. They've been getting a little irritating. Usually they only attack me on the ice though. It's a bit strange. I think I've only had maybe one attack in the wild, but something about the zone draws them in, and then they'll attack me while I'm building. But so far, I have not been killed by the wolves. So I broke off the nose that I had been debating about keeping. Just completely sheared it off. I managed to stick the landing, but I came in kind of flat, and I wonder if it's the cobalt in the back that made me sort of bounce forward. But once that happened, it just broke the nose clean off. So this is another reason why I'm thinking, all right, not only do I have the reduced cargo capacity, but this thing does not take a hit as well as I want it to. So I'm definitely gonna think about a new type of vehicle. I believe I mentioned it in Monday's video that I had seen the new like community no the new what is it Steam post from space engineers, from the people who make the game, and they were like, "Ooh, look at this Jeep. Isn't it so cool?" And I'm thinking, it is, that does look kind of cool. So I'm going to try to make my own version of it, my own type of Jeep. Of course, I'm not really good at doing stuff that's like true to life. Like if I took something from the real world and tried to make it into the engineer's world, I wouldn't be able to do it very well. It's something I've always had a little bit of a struggle with, but I think it's something I could work on, and that is part of becoming space engineer's master, is the ability to transform things from, let's say, Battlestar or StarCraft, and make it into something in engineer form. I might do that eventually, is have like an episode where it's just kind of building or breaking down some builds, and then it would still be kind of part of the series because it's all part of the same goal, the same journey, is to become really freaking good at this. Now, I think there's supposed to be a Space Engineers 2 eventually. Um, I won't have a separate series for that. It'll probably just be part of this series as well. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking for now, anyways. We'll see. Life comes at you fast. We'll see how things change. All right. So, heading back to the mobile refinery, gonna go ahead and try to do some repairs. Because I want to put the... Oh. What the... So when I stepped out of the vehicle, I hit the tire, and then it just threw me across the map? I'm going to take this as an omen. A bad omen. From Lord Clang, that I should not invest any more resources into the Thunder, at least for now. What I should do is go ahead and just queue up a whole bunch of building components and then take this sucker back to the charging station. I know I just left the charging station. I just got out of the valley and now I'm going back in. But the charging station provides more electricity than I can generate from the solar panels plus the two engines. You know, two engines only produce a megawatt, and then I'm getting 1.8 megawatts from the... Yeah, I'm getting 1.8 megawatts from the setup, but the charging station is producing, like, I believe it's close to 3, because it's 7 times 400 kilowatts, which is 2.8 megawatts. Yeah, that sounds right. So that's a lot of power. That should allow me to continue building without having to worry about draining my batteries. Because I guess I'm worried about draining my batteries and having to, like, drive Thunder over here and hook it up to the Mobile Refinery and then just sit here and power for like an hour. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to do that with this setup. I might be willing to do a setup like that in space if I really, really have to for like a satellite, but I don't want to be messing with that on ground for this. Oh man, satellites. It's I am taking this a bit slow because I'm spending so much time here in a just small blocks kind of nomad setup, but I do want to start moving towards a base. And I've got some ideas about what I want to build in order to make that happen. Because the real issue that's slowing me down is getting iron and then processing iron. Like, I've set up a couple thousand kilograms worth of iron, worth of component production, and that's a lot of iron consumption for the limited amount of production that I have at this moment. Alright, this is the good part. The outside arrays are folding in at the same time. I've got the main array. It's not wobbling or clanging or do anything creepy. And I can go ahead and actually gently swivel at the bottom rotor to get this just about dead center. And then I have sort of a trouble with the Space Engineer's rotor because it has a 0 mark and it goes around to 360, but then that 360 jumps back to 0, and that's when it's looking here. If you go into the control panel, it'll sometimes tell you that, oh no, it's negative 360. And it's the issue with the circle is that because it is 360 degrees, it's technically 360 degrees at every degree. So even at your 1 degree mark, from wherever you start your 0 and your 1 degree, technically it's still 360 degrees because the circle just keeps on going. It loops onto itself. So it's got to be really difficult to program, and it's even more frustrating for how my brain works to think about it and get it into what I'm doing. Which means I'm just going to have to adapt and overcome. Which is the whole point of this journey. Alright, I'll see you when we hit the ice. I mean, if we hit the ice. Alright, bit of a short episode today, folks. Thanks for sticking around. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you all next time. It's going to be a building episode. Cheers.